All right, it is Hello Again Wednesday. Welcome to this week's episode. I'm so glad that you joined me live on Facebook right now, or if you're watching it later. Thank you for following and checking when those things are happening when I'm on. I try to do it at a certain time. It's running a little bit late today, but thank you for joining me. Thank you for, even if you check this out on my YouTube channel, which is Brent Miller. What's on his mind? And just making sure all my mics are up and running. Brent Miller, What's on His Mind is my YouTube channel, and so you can check me out there. I'm also on my our church web page, which is culvercitychurchofgod.org. You can even see it. I do believe once it posts on YouTube that it goes and shoots over to rumble.com. I noticed that the other day that a lot of my videos are being posted there. So I'm so grateful for all of that. And those chances where you can be my special guest. And I say that because I'm trying to build up to really checking out the comments, and I'm always looking at the comments to respond, but we're getting ready to do some other things. So be sure and click the notification buttons, the follow buttons, the subscribe buttons. Be sure and share these videos, because if you share the videos, more and more people can get involved into the Hello Again Wednesday episodes that we have going on. And so with this one, they can also then join in on the conversation. This is Hello Again Wednesday number 84. It's called Dance, Dance, Dance. First of all, do you realize we're 16 episodes away from the 100th episode? And I'm trying to do something special there. I'll talk about it every week, and that is to get 100 subscribers on the YouTube channel to join in with Hello Again Wednesday. Yes, a long way to go. Not getting any new subscribers yet. They really need to click that subscribe button and the notification buttons. But I am noticing an uptick on people that are clicking on the video here on Facebook. So thank you very much, as we draw on an average, getting way up there toward the 100 viewers that are checking out the Hello Again Wednesday. I'm really seriously thinking about doing a Zoom where it goes to Facebook. I know I can do that. Zoom to Facebook, where we can actually have interaction face to face for that 100th episode. And so I'm looking for trying to figure out a good time frame which would allow more people to join. Might even be a special evening episode. We'll see what happens as it gets closer to that 100th episode. So if you can make it, please start clicking so that you can join in on that. So for this episode, Dance, 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 number 84. The question of the day is, do you remember your first dance? One of the things that kind of brings me to this is because a friend of mine, Pastor Mark, he is making some jokes every once in a while. We banter back and forth on Sundays and Wednesdays and stuff like that. And he's always making some jokes sometimes about dancing and getting the jig on or whatever. And so what takes place is, I told him, I said, one day I am going to do a dance episode. I'm not going to dance, but I will do a dance episode for Hello Again Wednesday. And so that's how this one came about for today. We just talked about it last Sunday. And so here we go. Just with this thought process of first dance or dances, let me walk you into it where you can start to tell stories. Nowadays, you can do, in fact, I looked this up. Nowadays, you can do things such as there is my last dance. I'm looking at comments right now, and man, I'm just praying for this dear lady. She lost her husband over the past year, and so but she's remembering her dances too, and they're special. That's the thing, they're special. I can remember that especially as a youth pastor, this lady knows me from there. As a youth pastor, some of the things that was coming out was with the video games Just Dance. And in fact, I just saw that there was an advertisement for Just Dance 2021. So I know that they've kept going throughout the years, making video game after video game. They have different thought processes and stuff. Or you can remember maybe Dance Revolution, or Dance Dance Revolution is what it might have been called. And so there's even a Dance Dance Revolution showdown and stuff like that. And so I can remember them because those things, I believe, had those little pads that you would kind of, they had arrows and stuff, and you'd had to dance and hit the arrows. And as you hit the arrows during the song, you racked up points and stuff like that. Or you could even, because we had one for our house, I think, you can even go to Chuck E. Cheese still today and play one of those video games. Now, I'm going to take you back a little bit, and some of these I did not see, but back in 1978 was a movie called Dance Dance. I did not see that one. Back in 1987, and some of you guys are going to say, yeah, I saw these or I remember these, was Dirty Dancing. I did not see that one. I think that one was 1987. Yes, it was. This one I did see, and that was the original Footloose with Kevin Bacon. That was back in 1984. I did see that one. That was a dance movie. I know they did a remake of it and stuff like that. I didn't see the remake, but I did see the original Footloose with Kevin Bacon. I have to admit, I did see 1977's Saturday Night Fever. The Bee Gees, that was when disco was really coming in and kind of coming in strong and stuff. They had a ton of hits off of that movie. It was Saturday Night Fever. I think there was another one. Staying Alive was another album or something like that they did back then with some real big dance movies and stuff like that. The list could probably go on and on. I'm not going to do all of them, but there are probably a ton of movies that have that dance theme in it. In fact, actually, I'm going to list off some songs, and one of them is a title to where it was, one of the movies. And I saw this movie too. I'll get to that in just a minute. When talking about dances, first dances, memories of dances, there's always, and if you know me, songs pop into my head. And so it would have been Van Halen. Van Halen was one of the first ones that popped into my head, which was off their first or second album. And it was Dance the Night Away. Dance, 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 dance the night away. And then there was also, now I'm not condoning all this stuff, but I'm just telling you, these are the things that, I grew up with. These are the era of dance and dance music that I grew up with. There was, they even came out with, the album was Diver Down, Van Halen, Diver Down. And Diver Down actually had Dancing in the Streets. Their Dancing in the Streets was a big one. I used to play Diver Down, that album, all the time back in let's see. Dancing in the Street would have been 1982. Dance the Night Away was 1979. Dancing in the Street was 1982. Dancing in the Streets was, I really like that one because it listed off cities, man. It was dancing in the streets, calling out to the world. Are you ready for a brand new beat? Summer's here and the time is right for dancing in the street. They're dancing in Chicago. They'll be dancing down in New Orleans, dancing in the streets. Up in New York City, dancing in the streets. All we need is music. Sweet, sweet music. Oh man, that song is ringing in my head. There'll be music everywhere. There'll be swinging, swaying, records playing, dancing in the streets. That was, man, I played that one a lot. It was huge. Those are some starting of some dance songs that I knew going on. And so that was taking place. One of the other things was remembering your first dance. Okay, my first dance. Now I'm going to take you back in history. All right, my first dance would have been at Wilson Middle School, and I have some friends, and I'm probably even wrong. It might have even been McIntosh Elementary School where we had some stuff that was taking place. We called them rec nights, REC, rec nights. And rec nights, you would go to the school on a Friday night, and you could do basketball, volleyball, dances. They had snack bars. They had all kinds of things that was taking place at the school on Friday nights during the school year. And so I do remember, in fact, I remember hanging out with Andy, Bob Burrows, Manny Bigelow, as well as some others during that era of going to those rec nights for dances. And I can remember even some young ladies' names that go along with it and stuff. Just the era that you grew up with. There were songs and stuff like that that went along with those rec nights. Now, this goes way back. So those were the years of even the songs were hits in 73, but we were still playing them in 75, 76. All the way up into 77. And that would be songs such as, ready, The Night Chicago Died by Paper Lace. Or how about The Hustle? Do the Hustle. You know, there was these songs that were going on. How about The Locomotion? Everybody's doing it. The Locomotion. Or Kung Fu Fighting. Man, this is way before those line dancers in the I believe in the cowboy halls or whatever you want to call them. You know what I'm talking about? Where we were doing the hustle. We were doing Kung Fu Fighting. The disco was really coming in, Disco Inferno, and then a movie, and I did watch this movie, Car Wash. Car Wash was one of the big songs. And then, of course, then you had the Bee Gees with Staying Alive was in those years for middle school. Then I went down, we moved, my dad rejoined the Army. We went down to Georgia, Augusta, Georgia, went to Langford Junior High with more dances taking place there, more people that I hung out with. There was another Andy down there, hung out with these guys down there. Actually, a couple Andys. Andy at church, and then I had an Andy friend in high school, and we just kind of hung out together for those dances down there and stuff. And then halfway in that high school year, we went in, going into high school, going into it, we moved to Belgium, to right by Mons, and I have friends that are still out that love that area out there and stuff in Belgium. And we lived on the post, the base, which was Shape America. It was Shape American High School, and it was Supreme Headquarters Allied Powers Europe. So we went to Shape. That was our high school. 1979 was probably one of my favorite dance songs that came out by Frank Zappa. I actually met the keyboardist that played this song with Frank Zappa, Tommy Mars. And so he came to church one day and played the organ for us in church. And it was really cool to meet Tommy Mars from Frank Zappa's era. It was Dancing Fool. Don't know much about dancing. That's why I got this song. One of my legs is shorter than the other, and both my feet's too long. Of course, not right along with them. I got no natural rhythm, but I go dancing every night, hoping one day I might get it right. I'm a dancing fool, dancing fool, dancing fool. Man, those were the years in Belgium where a push. I can remember, man, I went to a dance pretty much as soon as we got there. Plus, there was other dances that took place throughout the year. One of the dances was, you have proms, you have homecoming. I was a homecoming king for one of those dances and all this other stuff. And so, but in Belgium, with those dances, we had them in the high school cafeteria, or we had them in the teen center. Now, the high school cafeteria was those special dances and stuff like that, unless we had a big one somewhere. And then someone correct me if I'm wrong. I think we even had a dance one time, and it's changed now, but it used to be called the green room. I think we even had something that took place in that little area. Maybe not, but I do remember the cafeterias. I remember a lot of things that happened there. One of the things about well, let me do, before I do this one, the teen center. the teen center was right next to the high school across the street, and every weekend was a dance. Every weekend, unless there was something special maybe. But other than that, there was always a dance at the teen center. It was the big place, one of the big places to hang out there for us at Shape Belgium. And so, but let's go back to cafeteria dances. Cafeteria dances would be this one. And I know, with girls, you probably, whenever a dance will come out, I hope so-and-so doesn't ask me, or I hope so-and-so does ask me. Well, there's one dance per year where guys feel that same pressure, and that was the Sadie Hawkins dance. The Sadie Hawkins dance, for you guys that don't know what a Sadie Hawkins dance is, it is where the girls ask the guys to the dance rather than guys asking the girls. And so it was one of later on in my years, actually as a youth pastor, hooked onto this band called Reliant K. They actually wrote a song called Sadie Hawkins Dance, and the lyrics are, all the girls in the bathroom talking who they're going to take to the Sadie Hawkins. My ears are hurting, but I kept on walking. A smile on my face and an air guitar rocking. The Sadie Hawkins dance in my khaki pants. There's nothing better. Oh, oh, oh. The girls ask the guys. It's always a surprise. There's nothing better, baby. Do you like my sweater? And that is the Sadie Hawkins dance. And so the question is, with all these dance memories, I got a ton, and I'm not telling all the stories. I'm sure you have some stories to tell too on your first dance. Or let's do it this way, because I saw right away on one of the first comments is one of the memorable dances that you have or have had. And so, man, I would love to read those comments and share those and have others see your stories. That's what it's all about as my special guest of the day. So in about an hour out here on the West Coast at 2 p.m., we're going to have our Bible studies. I'm downstairs in the area where that Bible study is about to take place. Pastor Mark is going to be leading us in Joshua chapter 10, and then we're going to be moving into the book of Esther with him as he leads us. There's two ways to join that Bible study. You can join via Zoom, and I can get you the link to that where you can actually join in on the conversation, or you can come live in person down here in our area where we have the Bible study downstairs at the church here at Culver City Church of God. You're always welcome to join us that way. Now, if you cannot make our Bible study on either of those venues, make sure you check out a Bible-believing church near you, see their Bible study, be a part of that group, and who knows, maybe you'll be treated to some foot stomping or some hand clapping, whatever. Check it out and enjoy. So, question of the day. Do you remember your first dance? Now, you can elaborate from the dance and make it most memorable. Maybe even tell a story of, wow, this was probably one of the worst dance things I've ever had happen to me. Let's leave a comment. Leave a comment on my YouTube channel, Brent Miller, What's on His Mind. Leave a comment right here on Facebook. And let's join in on these stories of the day. Now, if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you click share. Share these videos so other people can join in. The same thing with Facebook. Share it to your page. Pass it along. Now, and lastly, remember, we are 16 episodes away from the 100th episode, and we're going to make it a big one. We're going to have it longer, and we're going to possibly do it maybe at a different time to where more and more people can join in live on that 100th episode. Thanks for being my special guest today. I look forward to seeing you next week on Hello Again Wednesday. This one's 84. Next week will be Hello Again Wednesday, number 85. Bye, everyone.